Hi, my name is Matt Schweitzer with Sloan Implement, and today we want to talk a little bit about some wear items on your corn head, on your John Deere corn heads. So there's a couple items that are common for us to see have a lot of wear and something to inspect season to season. So starting on top here, we can start with our chains and sprockets. So on our sprockets, we can look at the teeth here, and you can see these are starting to get a hook in them. They're starting to get kind of egged out to where the tooth there is wider than it should be. So that's one indication your sprocket might be worn. On your chains, we can see on this older head that the chain is actually starting to touch the washer on top of the sprocket. So that would be a good indication that it's worn and it's starting to get into that washer there. Another giveaway that our chains are stretched or worn too much is we're running out of adjustment on our adjustment here. So that would be another giveaway. Also, looking at the chains on our rollers, between the links here, the rollers actually have kind of an hourglass shape. So they're getting quite a bit of wear on those rollers as well. So those are all good indicators that our chains and sprockets are probably about due on this head to be replaced. Now on our deck plates, moving farther down, our deck plates on either side, this particular corn head does not have a lot of wear on the deck plates, but what you're looking for is wear on either edge of the deck plate, you know, where your ears are coming down and hitting. You'll start to see kind of a U shape in your deck plates. Now I'm exaggerating it, but on either side you would see that U-shaped wear in your deck plate. That's going to be an indication your deck plates might need some attention. On your chain guides here, you'll see that this one's kind of warped. It's a plastic chain guide. That's very common. That doesn't concern me so much. It's very common to see them warped like that. Moving down below, this might be hard to see on camera, but I've got my stock rolls, right? And this kind of goes for any stock roll, but as a stock roll gets worn, it just doesn't process the stalks as well. So what you'll see on this one is the edges of the teeth, if you will, on the stock roll are getting very rounded off. And the other thing that's a giveaway they're very worn is there's a large gap in between my stock rolls. Those teeth, these happen to be opposed rolls. So as those teeth come around, they meet, there should be a very small gap in between those stock rolls. These are very wide. So those leading edges, those sharp edges are just rounded off. So that's a good indication my stock roll is pretty much worn out. What you're going to see if you have worn out stock rolls is as you go through the field, stalks are left standing taller than you would expect them to be. You know, you might have a 3 or 4 foot stalk left after you go through, when normally we're used to them being really short, right? So it just doesn't process those stalks quite as well. Another thing we can look at is the condition of our poly. Now again, the poly is not too bad on this head, but right here where the corn cobs rub the poly, you'll see a lot of cracking and holes develop right here. So that's one thing. Top and bottom both, Sloan Express is going to be offering those snouts as replacement items. Currently today, we do have the top half available. Starting later in 2025, we'll have the bottom half available as well on 30-inch rows. So we'll be able to replace that poly for you, give you an alternative. We have Deere parts as well, obviously. So checking your condition of your poly is a good idea. Last thing we see on this head is one thing that jumps out to me is how low this particular bracket is compared to the opposite side. So that would be an indication my frame is tweaked a little bit. Whether we've hit the ground with it as we're going through the field, whatever happened, it's actually bent this one down. So that would be an indicator. Now they're not always perfectly level, but that's an extreme case where it's bent down quite a bit. So that would be an indication my frame is bent. They're on my my row unit frame. Moving over here to this head, a couple more things. This is a chopping head, so another thing we have to think about are our knives on our chopping heads. So you can see on this one, it's rounded off, the edge of the knife is. So this one is actually rounded on both the top and the bottom. So what you'll see is the leading edge will be worn. You can flip them once and get another season out of them, But once you flipped them and worn them on both sides, it's obviously time to replace those. Those are something you'd probably want to inspect every season. So guys, other than that, there's lots of things to look at, but those are the common ones we see the most of. So again, any questions about your head, give us a call at Sloan's and we'll get you helped out. Thank you.